TikTok says delaying enforcement of law would allow Supreme Court to consider legality of ban. Washington. Facing challenges to its existence in the United States, the short video app TikTok has taken its case to the Supreme Court in a final attempt to seek a temporary block on a law that requires its parent company, ByteDance, based in China, to divest the app by January 19th or risk a ban. TikTok and ByteDance filed an emergency request to the justices for an injunction to halt the looming ban on the social media app used by about 170 million Americans while they appeal a lower court's ruling that upheld the law. A group of U.S. users of the app filed a similar request on Monday as well. Congress passed the law in April. The Justice Department has said that as a Chinese company, TikTok poses a national security threat of immense depth and scale because of its access to vast amounts of data on American users, from locations to private messages, and its ability to secretly manipulate content that Americans view on the app. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit in Washington on December 6th rejected TikTok's arguments that the law violates free speech protections under the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment. In their filing to the Supreme Court, TikTok and ByteDance said that if Americans, duly informed of the alleged risks of covert content manipulation, choose to continue viewing content on TikTok with their eyes wide open, the First Amendment entrusts them with making that choice, free from the government's censorship. And if the D.C. Circuit's contrary holding stands, then Congress will have free rein to ban any American from speaking simply by identifying some risk that the speech is influenced by a foreign entity, they added. The companies said that being shuttered for even 1 month would cause TikTok to lose about a third of its U.S. users and undermine its ability to attract advertisers and recruit content creators and employ talent. Calling itself one of the most important speech platforms used in the United States, TikTok has said that there is no imminent threat to U.S. national security and that delaying enforcement of the law would allow the Supreme Court to consider the legality of the ban and the incoming administration of President-elect Donald Trump to evaluate the law as well. Trump, who unsuccessfully tried to ban TikTok during his first term in 2020, has reversed his stance and promised during the presidential race this year that he would try to save TikTok. Trump takes office on January 20th, the day after the TikTok deadline under the law. The law would shutter one of America's most popular speech platforms the day before a presidential inauguration, the companies said in their filing. A federal law singling out and banning a speech platform used by half of Americans is extraordinary. Asked on Monday at a press conference what he would do to stop a ban on TikTok, Trump said that he has a warm spot in my heart for TikTok and that he would take a look at the matter. The companies asked the Supreme Court to issue a decision on its request by January 6th to allow, in the event it is rejected, for the complex task of shutting down TikToks in the United States and to coordinate with service providers by the deadline set under the law. The dispute comes amid growing trade tensions between China and the United States, the world's two biggest economies. Rigorous scrutiny. TikTok has denied that it has or ever would share U.S. user data, accusing U.S. lawmakers of advancing speculative concerns. TikTok spokesperson Michael Hughes said after the filing that we are asking the court to do what it has traditionally done in free speech cases, apply the most rigorous scrutiny to speech bans and conclude that it violates the First Amendment. In its ruling, the D.C. Circuit wrote, "The First Amendment exists to protect free speech in the United States." Here the government acted solely to protect that freedom from a foreign adversary nation and to limit that adversary's ability to gather data on people in the United States. Without an injunction, the ban on TikTok would make the company far less valuable to ByteDance and its investors and hurt businesses that depend on TikTok to drive their sales. The law would bar providing certain services to TikTok and other foreign adversary-controlled apps, including offering it through app stores such as Apple AAPL.O and Alphabet's GOOGLE, Google, effectively preventing its continued U.S. use unless ByteDance divests TikTok by the deadline. A ban could open the door to a future U.S. crackdown on other foreign-owned apps. In 2020, Trump tried to ban WeChat, owned by Chinese company Tencent, but was blocked by the courts.